Well, let's get to things a little more earthy. And Urban Plant Growers is helping tens of thousands of Australians install smart gardens in their home, allowing them to grow fruits and vegetables in small environments. Effectively, you can have a lettuce in your living room. To tell us more about it, we're joined by Urban Plant Growers co-founder Peter Colt here in the studio, and the Beast.
The Beast.
Great to have you in. I'm looking at this and thinking, well, I could grow at least 10 lettuces there, so that's $100 straight up. But tell us a little bit about this idea, Pete.
First off, thank you so much for having me, Simon. We started this company at the end of 2018 when Australia was in drought. What a change now. And myself, my co-founder came together, and dams were pretty low, and we thought it was just unsustainable, the food situation then. And as we chatted to friends and family, we had a bunch of friends moving out into apartment buildings, and they were complaining that they couldn't have gardens.
Yep.
And there was a big shame. And there's people downsizing as well from bigger houses into apartments, and it's only going to increase with the more and more people living in denser living conditions. And we thought there's got to be a solution to this. There wasn't really one in Australia, so we brought it into Australia. My background's electrical engineering. My co-founder Dilhan is mechanical engineering, so it's a pretty good mix together. And 9 months ago, went full-time on the company, left Microsoft 9-10 months ago. So it's all guns blazing, building products to empower everyone to grow their own food and to have beautiful gardens inside, even if you don't have the space.
So it's one thing to be working on how to get a Teams meeting up and running. It's something slightly different to grow real live plants, especially indoors. What have you learnt out of that journey?
There's so many learnings. Logistics and hardware is hard. Is the big one, especially during the COVID period. Unfortunately, most manufacturing electronically happens overseas. So we had some big pain points, which we had to overcome, but it's an ongoing learning process. Building a team is insanely important when building a startup, and bootstrapping a business like this, where we did 1.5 mil last year, has been incredibly, we have to be extremely profitable to be able to bootstrap a business like that.
Okay, now I'm going to get to the Equitize campaign first. I've seen things like this, but normally they pop up after a police raid in a house somewhere in Sydney's western suburbs. What's going on here with this idea? You've got some not micro herbs. I think this is a kale, or is it that you're growing? Everyone loves kale, one of those superfoods at this point in time. What I'm saying here is I'm not dealing with bugs. I'm not dealing with dirt everywhere. Of course, hydroponics has been a big part of growing. But for people who are terrified of growing things because they're just going to die and they kill everything, how are you solving that problem?
Yep, fantastic question. So this system, for example, is hydroponic. Hydroponics is a fantastic technology, and it's got a bit of a bad rep, as you said, with the police raids, but it has no soil, which is great for apartments because it's clean. People add nutrients directly to the water, which means plants don't have to spend energy growing as many roots. All that energy is put into the growth of the plant, which means they grow faster. Our technology has built-in grow lights on timers, built-in pumps. We have all the hydroponic nutrients as well. And it's really a sort of set and forget mechanism to try and make it as easy as possible for anyone to be able to grow their own food or to grow houseplants easily at home. And we're moving towards a system, so our next iteration of products, which we've been designing over a year, has been modularizing a lot of this technology and electronics so now we can turn them into beautiful furniture products. So we've got a new product coming out in about 2-3 months time, which will hit the Australian market, which are going to be grow shelf products, which people will be able to use for both houseplants and hydroponic use as well. And you'll be able to grow a lot of food, up to 72 plants in one vertical area, about a meter area squared, going up, which is about 5 or 6 times more than something that you could do in that same area in soil-based. So really good space efficiency as well.
We were just looking at the footage a little earlier and you could see them, and they are quite good looking, and it kind of, self-sufficient house plant along the way. Tell us about this Equitise campaign. You're now looking for cash. Of course, you are building a physical product, so that's costly as well. And as you said, you want to get your numbers right to succeed. What are you looking for in terms of cash, and what are your ambitions?
Yeah, fantastic question again. So we decided to go with Equitise because we have 20,000 plus customers currently. We've sold over 50,000 products, and it's really about bringing in some of our really passionate customers into the fold to become huge advocates of the brand and to really start building it up. So that was the strategic decision, as we're a B2C brand, to really pull those customers and make them advocates, which is why we're doing the Equitise raise. We're looking to raise about $1 million and at a 10 mil pre-money evaluation. And with that capital, we're really doubling down on R&D. There's a lot of products in the space that need to be designed to try and make it mainstream, to suit every person's apartment, to really improve food security in the cities, and to effectively make the world a greener place, which is something that a lot of people are worried about for our future.
Look, as a home cook, I'm passionate about having herbs handy, and sort of being able to do something like this inside would be fantastic. One of the numbers that you point out as part of the Equitise campaign is that 70% of millennials are plant parents. Yeah. That is an astonishing number.
It is, but we really saw it during COVID as well. Just the uptick in indoor houseplants is pretty insane. When we first started the company, we didn't expect this. We started with just a hydroponic solution for growing herbs in the kitchen. But what we realized is a lot of people were buying our products to use the grow light in their indoor houseplants. And so we expanded the range to also include grow lights and other things for the houseplant market. And that's something that a lot of people in the space are not doing. We're really trying to target the full garden solution. When you think about your grandparents' garden or maybe your garden, people have beautiful plants outside, but then they have a small veggie patch. The veggie patch is part of the ecosystem, but doesn't necessarily have to be the entire ecosystem. So we're trying to create products that hit both categories, the indoor plant lovers and the home cook.
I just think of that as my moth and butterfly restaurant, sort of basically my vegetable garden at home. Finally, I do want to ask, what are your favourite things to grow? I know you're experimenting with different plants and what works well. What are the most fun things to grow at home?
Basil is my go-to, because you can make some fantastic pesto and just chuck it on so much pasta. Cos lettuce has so much volume as well, hydroponically. Some plants they love hydroponics. The amount of water and nutrients they get, they just grow like crazy. So basil and cos lettuce would be my top two.
Mate, you've just sold me on the cos lettuce, because seriously, I feed every caterpillar in Australia out of my garden on my lettuce. Peter, great to have you in from the business Urban Plant Growers. You can find out more at equitise.com/offer Urban Plant Growers, so check it out there.